so just a few more examples, boys. In this question, it's asking you to solve correct to one decimal place. You won't see that happening until you get towards the end of the question. So, again, we've got our decreasing orders of powers and our zero on our right-hand side. Look at your middle term, ignore the coefficient, and we're looking at the w cubed. That's what we're going to let u equal. So then we're going to take the w to the power of 6 and rewrite it with the w cubed. So that will be w cubed to the power of 2. So don't forget you have a 3 out the front. So you've got 3, and then the w to the power of 6 becomes w cubed all squared. Then wherever you see your w cubes, we're going to put u. So this will be 3u squared minus 16u minus 35 equals 0. So then we do our product and sum. Don't forget you have to multiply these for your product. So our product is minus 105. The sum is minus 16. If we go through our factor pairs, we'll find that 5 and 21 will give us a 16. The highest number gets the negative. The signs have to be different, so the 5 will get a positive. So then we set up our brackets with our 3u, 3u, and 3 on the bottom. Slide your plus 5 and minus 21 into the brackets. So we're looking for common factors. There's no common factor in the first bracket, but the second bracket has a common factor of 3. So take that out and leaves u minus 7. The 3's cancel, and that's what we have left. 3u plus 5u minus 7 equals 0. So take each bracket and make it equal to 0 and solve them for u. So this comes down to u equals minus 5 over 3, and this one comes down to u equals 7. So we're now going to go and put the w cubed back in for u. So wherever you see the u, you're going to put w cubed and copy the rest of it. So now we're finding w, get rid of your cubed, come over here and cube root. Don't forget it's an odd power, so it only has one answer. Get your calculator to do all of that for you. Just make sure it looks like that before you press equals. And that's the decimal it gives you. So that's where you know we are getting a decimal. Now we're going to one decimal place, so this will become minus 1.2. And over here, the cube root of 7 gives you that decimal. To one decimal place, it works out to be 1.9. So we have two answers to one decimal place, minus 1.2 and 1.9. So we started with a polynomial of degree 6. At the most, we expect 6 answers. We only got 2. So if we were graphing it, it would have only had those 2 x-intercepts. Okay, in B. Now I've given you this one because it actually can be done without anything that we've just been teaching you about. So this is the question, k to the 6 minus 64 equals 0. It's a lot simpler. It doesn't have the 3 terms like these ones have all had. This has only got the 2 terms. So there's no reason why you can't just move the minus 64 over to the other side to become plus 64. And then to get rid of the power of 6, so we're getting rid of that first, move it over to be positive 64. Get rid of the power of 6 by doing the 6th root. But just don't forget, that's an even power. So it will have 2 solutions, plus and minus. Don't forget that, okay? Otherwise you're just going to get off your calculator 2 when the answer is positive and negative 2. Okay, so we only got 2 answers and it was done very quickly without any of the work we've just done. All right, next one comes back to 3 terms, so we're going to be doing what we were doing before. So they are in decreasing order of power. We do have a 0 over there. Look at the middle term. Ignore the coefficient. We're looking at the v cubed. That's what u is going to equal. So come over here to your v to the 6, and you should know by now what you're doing. The v cubed can be written to the power of 2. So all of that, if you multiplied those indices, would be v to the power of 6. And now we're going to replace the v cubes with u's. So we have u squared plus 5u minus 24 equals 0. So after you use your product and sum and factorise this, it will come down to u minus 3, u plus 8 equals 0. Make each bracket equal to 0. I'll just turn this around. Make each bracket equal to 0 and solve it. So we've got u equals 3 and u equals minus 8. Don't forget, we're putting the v cubed back in for u now. So where the u was, we're putting the v cubed back in. And now we're going to solve it for v. So get rid of the cubed by cube rooting over here. And get rid of the cubed by cube rooting over here. Remember, with the odd power, you only have one answer. Use your calculator. This one has to be rounded to one decimal place like we did before, so it becomes 1.4. And that one over there just ended up being minus 2, so we don't need to write that as a decimal. And that's the end of the question. You ended up with 2 answers when we could have ended up with up to 6 answers. Again, if we graphed it, it would have only had 2 x-intercepts. So I hope you understand all that. It just takes practice and you'll be fine. Good luck with it.